Morning, everybody. Welcome into Steampunk Psyche. Today, I want to talk about the feeling you get when a gnat not leave you alone. You know what I mean? That flying by your nose, you're wiping at it, getting by your ears, and you hear it just amplified in your ear. There's this energy of just this little pest kind of energy, and I want to find out in the tarot today what it's got to do. Somebody is coming through like something is bothering me really bad. There's this energy that I don't know what it is, but there's something about maybe that person that's just right. Anyway, we're gonna do the read today on top of the Empress here. So maybe the Empress will reveal to us this energy of kind of nurture us back to health, so to speak. So anyway, just a general reading. We'll get into the cards and see what this energy I'm talking about, if it's going to reveal itself. Hopefully it'll just be completely different. Give us a nice, loving kind of read today. Four of Swords in the reverse position and Six of Cups in the reverse position. The Four of Swords upright normally talks about, you've got something really, really weighing on your mind. But the Four of Swords in the reverse position talks about exhaustion, burnout, restlessness, resistance. There's a stress taking place, some kind of hesitation, but it also speaks of recovery. But we see the Six of Cups in the reverse position as well, in the feminine position. So let's see what that has to do with it. Stuck in the past, emotional blocks, unresolved issues, maybe some childhood wounds, disconnection, unrealistic expectations, and moving forward. Where are we going with this? Somebody is weighed down with something, and the Queen of Cups shows up as this supportive energy here, like what you're trying to ground yourself into. So what's weighing you down is what you really, this is the manifested position here, but something is overbearing here. These two energies, and I kind of mentioned that with the gnat scenario. Who is on your head? Let's find out. Somebody's coming through here. Like I said, these are just interpretations of the cards, and sometimes they resonate with us and sometimes they don't. The Queen of Cups is this mystery. This mystery, this cup here's got a lid on it. She represents this. She's stable with emotional control. And so maybe this is what you're trying to understand. Maybe you're just having one of those days where I'm done with everything, right? Death card in the reversed position. Trying to manifest something, it's not working out. Perhaps it's relationship wise. We do have the cups up there, and that is speaks of relationships of some kind. And I wouldn't be surprised. I've been seeing a lot of that lately. We have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse position also, that talks about this, just kind of this just stagnant kind of energy. Things aren't really moving too well. It's got you tired, it's got you exhausted, burned out. But it looks like in the fourth position as well, and I like to see these two right here, in this. This is kind of like, you're looking forward to these energies again. This moon, and I know you're like, oh dude, don't do it with the moon, but I got to, because this moon coming into that waning type crescent energy. We just had this full moon energy that was just, like, a lot of people talk about how, coming up to that full moon, there was all this intense energy, but I feel like it's after, the moon gives birth to all the, to all the ideas that didn't take place, or to the, desires that, you wanted to see manifested. Maybe this is that kind of energy. It's kind of what I'm getting. There's a beginning. of the manifestation. You notice you've got this as above, so below, what you think in your mind, and you're trying to manifest it here on the earth. So, but I'm just kind of seeing this really stagnant kind of energy here with death reverse and Seven of Pentacles. These are, these pentacles represent the fruition of these desires that you're trying to manifest, but you're in kind of this stalemate, stale lock. So, in this third turn, maybe we will see something that will, give us some HOPE, right? Because we need this. So what are we going to, okay. Five of Wands in the reverse position. I mean, these energies right here are two opposing energies. Five of Wands in the reversed position. Let's see what else comes up here, but yeah. So resolution, cooperation, harmony, compromise, and peace. And I feel like this is you. Can you agree? Can you agree? Yes, I can. But it's followed by the Nine of Swords, which means there's another restless energy. And that's kind of what I was saying with this, that gnat that just keeps buzzing around your nose and it won't leave you alone. And this energy, like I said, this energy is causing, this sleeplessness, restlessness, and followed by the Sun card, where you want to see peace. And that's what you're trying to manifest, is this peace, where you would want to have this, just all surpassing strength that keeps you moving forward. Instead, you're burdened, you have these burdens. And I feel like the stagnant place is what keeps us locked in sometimes from having that full epiphany, that magician card that we want to see, where our manifestations take place. But it does look like you are, that you are trying to ground yourself more, and maybe collaborate with some people. Maybe this is a work relation type scenario where you're trying to collaborate, share some ideas. You've been talking, maybe you've been looking into esoteric things with the Queen of Cups, the mystery. Could be talking about that. But then we're followed by the Two of Wands in the upright position. Now, the Two of Wands is like this stabilized energy that it says I'm looking into something. I'm looking out. I've got a stable kind of a footing, but yet there is something of interest, or a particular thing of interest that I am looking forward to. This could be looking into, like I said, mystery, esoteric type scenario, or it could be looking into finances, something that's not moving, or relationship related. But it's followed by the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles talks about this balance, this generous energy, except this has got you upside down. You're not feeling so generous. You're kind of feeling a little bit perturbed, angry, frustrated. And what I think this has to do with is some internal, obviously everything is internal. So, I mean, I'm not trying to enlighten you on that, but there is a shadow aspect that's taking place here. And this is begging us to kind of look within, instead of this, and kind of instead of a materialistic kind of view. It's to focus inward. Here's where the issue lies. This burden that you're seeing in the very first turn is kind of telling you that what is burdening you, is some internal type of issues. Now we've got the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse position. Kind of like what you've grounded yourself into, over time. What do we believe about ourselves? What is it that's, got us all bumfuzzled? So obviously the wheel is talking about cycles of changes, but perhaps there's disruptions, that are taking place, along the way, some unexpected setback. But then again, we're still in this kind of a stagnant place, and not really moving forward the way we want to, the way we feel like we could be somewhere, we're not, right? But the good news is the Empress energy shows up, and we are on top of the Empress here. So the Empress is nurturing, and I believe that maybe this is talking about, hey, you don't have to go 90 miles an hour all the time, right? take some time for yourself. This is really what it's kind of saying to me. And you're like, JT, I ain't got time to stop, man. If you knew my life, you wouldn't be saying that. And you're right. I don't know your life, but what I am saying is these cards are telling you, and you're here because you want to know an answer. And the answer is telling you, look, to receive this benefit, and this benefit could be relationship wise, it could be that you're expecting this finance coming through and everything else. In order to receive this, and this is in the passive position, so it's a gentle reminder is what it's saying. In order to celebrate your victories, and in order to have these manifestations, this card right here, this is the shadow work. It's saying, while this also could talk about a spiritual awakening and enlightenment, you're depleted of the things that, we're seeing this 10 of Wands right here. You're just loaded down. You've got too much stuff going on, right? And in order to have this collaboration that you need, it's time to take on this nurturing aspect of the self. Okay, this is dominant energy, and I think you know this. So forcing ourselves to slow down can sometimes, it's challenging just to do that. I understand, but you got to. There's no other options. When you deplete yourself completely, you fall victim, to illness. You fall victim to kind of that, woe is me, and nobody wants to be in that position. We all hate that. This shows me that you've just grounded yourself, into your work. You've kind of moved out and away. This also could be, this could also be showing part of that manifesting energy that you're trying to do. You kind of just isolate yourself, seclude yourself. I'm surprised we're not seeing the hermit, yet, in which, we may, but this is kind of that hermit mode. You're manifesting this celebration, and kind of realizing you need to move out. And sometimes we'll do that. We'll just kind of tuck our nose into our work, nose to the grindstone type attitude, and move forward. So if this is relationship wise, I would say it's more talking about the relationship of you and you. And we do see the Three of Pentacles, which suggests that there could be some kind of a collaboration taking place. But I really feel like it's more about this Wheel of Fortune in reversed and this moon aspect over here. And with the Empress, that nurturing is what she's crying out. We see the, Six of Swords over here talks about kind of moving away. And the Ace of Wands is this emotional offering, this sensual, once again, we get this, sensual energy. With the Ace of Pentacles, these are both this you're missing the signs, saying, one, for finances, if that's what you're trying to manifest, you've got to nurture that aspect by rest, recovery, rejuvenating, that type of thing. If this is a relationship and it's talking about this is affecting everything from my, my sexual life all the way to my friendships or my, whatever I'm doing, then that's part of it as well. So the Six of Swords is this moving away, knowing you need to move away from whatever this choppy water that's causing this unrest, like over here the Nine of Swords, moving away from it. So this is your dominant energy over here, saying that at least you're considering this option, and maybe that's what you want to know. You need to know about this confirmation wise. So we'll see what else it delivers here. Some justice, justice on the situation. A Ten of Swords that has been put off. I mean, justice is what it is, right? This searching some serious balance, and on this situation that you might be in. So let's take a look here again at the Ten of Swords. Yes. Recovery, renewal, resilience, closure, healing, perspective, release. There you go. I couldn't have put that in a better place than what it is. This is what you're trying to ground yourself. This would be your ultimate, answer, saying the rest, recovery, rejuvenation. And like I said, I felt that with the Empress in the upright. I would like to know more. I want to know, what are you trying to manifest though? What is it that, you're in your head, you're tired, overworked, that type of scenario, but what's the underlying, the Knight of Cups offering? Okay. So you're waiting on a relationship. You're waiting on, this handsome steed to come in and sweep you off your feet, but yet this ain't happening. The King of Cups is the love offering, the emotional offering, and it's just its reverse position. And this passive energy saying it's taking its time and nothing's happened uh, at this time. So then we have, followed by the devil in the reverse position. The devil upright obviously is talking about what we're chained, to what, in this case, I would have to say that, we're chained to this consistent, nothing taking place kind of thing. But, um, so yeah, the death in, or, no, we said the devil in reverse. Let's try this again. How about that? Freedom, release, breaking the chains, overcoming addictions, self-empowerment, awareness, transformation. And really, I'm not seeing this as being this, overcoming addictions, other than the fact that maybe you're addicted to, you know, uh, sometimes in this devil position we get, and I know this may sound like I'm being, total pompous, but I'm not trying to be. It's just that sometimes even pain can be in a comfortable position for us to stay in, because it's familiar. You just kind of get into this mindset of, I expect it to be this way, because of this or that. Maybe you're seeing reoccurring things in a relationship. Maybe you're seeing reoccurring things at work. Maybe you're seeing reoccurring things. And so every morning we wake up and before we get ready, we go to work, and we just automatically expect, the douchebag to be the douchebag, or, the biatch to be the biatch, right? So we kind of come to expect those things. And while we don't really want those things to happen, we keep kind of keeping the momentum alive by always referring back to it. And I feel like this is maybe one of those simplistic kind of scenarios. This doesn't feel super heavy, but it does feel like you're waiting on a relationship. But there is this recovery, there's this renewal. And we saw that earlier on with the death card. And it's funny, I think it's, where'd that go? That's hiding from me here. Where'd it go? Oh, there you go. Yep. Death in reverse too. So, um, yeah, let's see what else here. So we know this, but are we going to fall in love? That's it, right? When's this person coming into my life, or this, option here that's still kind of in this balancing the ideas of something. The Two of Pentacles in the reverse position. Um, let's look at that. Two of Pentacles in the reverse. There's an imbalance, obviously, right? But maybe an inflexibility. Okay. It could be, we were seeing a lot of your pentacles come out. So, um, this could also be talking about maybe there's a give or take something that's in the work relationship, maybe. I don't know. I just wish this could tell me something a little bit more. Let's keep going and see what's up. Two of Pentacles is, then we have the star card in the reverse position. Star talks about the imbalance, emotional and, your earthly balance, keeping balance here. And for this case, it would be relationship, and Pentacles being, some kind of financial stability. But we're seeing the star in reversed. And take a look at that real quick. Star in reversed. Disillusionment, maybe stagnation, loss of direction. Well, we already know that. We know that. We're seeing that in the cards, but it's followed by the Knight of Wands, which talks about this chaos, this turmoil. I really don't like seeing the Knight of Wands in the reverse position, although this is the way our life goes sometimes. Um, there's it's altruism. Everything is what it is. We have to look at it. Bit of impulsiveness. Maybe you're wondering, you're becoming impulsive because of that. I'm not really seeing a recklessness taking place there, but definitely frustration. Like I said, there's some issue that's got you bugged. No pun intended, right? We started it off with that gnat scenario, but I'm just thinking maybe you're just in this, it's hot summer and kind of one of those, uh, you know, I got off work and traffic sucked and, really I can't find what I want to wear. My shoes are dirty or grungy. I need to wash them. I don't know, just some super little irritating things that are coming up, that's causing this imbalance. And, and I kind of feel like I said it's based upon a relationship, and the major takeaway here is this Empress, okay, and it's a nurturing energy, and I think like I said, it's as simple as that because I'm not really seeing that in the cards. Yeah, there's like this energy is I'm just going to keep going, keep moving on. We do see the crescent moon here, and we are in that crescent moon stage, so this could be applying to, like I said, these energies of just kind of this dissatisfaction. While he's walking away, he knows that there is a road ahead that's, it's not going to. It's sometimes it's not the path most traveled, right? Um, and to lead to this, glorious union of this happy home, happy life scenario, it's going to take a little bit of work. So I kind of feel like that's I'm going to stop it here because I kind of feel like that's the energy. And I was feeling that this morning too. It's just like there's just a damn gnat that keeps just just bugging me. You know, we don't, at least I'm not aware of anybody that has this the magic power to say if you take step one, then step two will definitely follow, right? Um, and if it was that the case like that, I think that we would know it, because it would become a pretty popular idea. There is not a particular method in which, um, that I'm aware of that you can just go, okay, if I do one, two, then three. But each little baby step, towards uh, towards getting closer to your manifesting. You did see the magician there. Each little step that you take with the expectation of at least, of getting there, um, that is the steps one, two, three, and four. Okay, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, and internally we know this. So when the things that don't work out start to build up, that's those little frustrations, right? And so I really feel like if there was any lesson involved in this reading right now, it would be that Empress aspect, and I kind of feel like there again, that's why I chose that, is that, um, nurturing ourselves, look, if you get a day off, don't burn your candle at both ends. You know what I mean? Take a time to just lay in bed. Take some time to, go to the park, read a book, or whatever it is you do, that seems like relaxing, even if it's playing video games, even though playing video games kind of keeps your mind active and moving. So the whole point would be to kind of like slow down the emotional and the involvement. And for some people, that is a type of way to calm down. So I get it. But the less active mentally that you are focused on this idea, I feel like this is just one of those little tipping points. It didn't seem really extreme. It just felt like that. Uh, these are a bunch of little bitty small things that have compiled up. Yes, you want that beautiful relationship. You want to be able to, uh, coexist in a relationship at work that, that allows freedom and that allows, uh, a collaboration. And then you also want your financial situation to become more stable. We did see the Nine of Pentacles in a reverse position. These are all things that, you know that I believe are so, you can accomplish those, but it's going to take the getting out of your, that routine of continually, expecting this terrible outcome. I mean, I would propose, why not just turn your head, turn your cheek, to something else? I mean, if that's possible. I mean, to do that. Um, but it does seem really like uh, it didn't seem like a terrible energy. These were really good cards, and so hopefully, if you followed along with me, my heart's with you. I love you, and I appreciate you staying with me this long. If you did, um, but I think you're right there. I think if you can just maybe, um, just step away from yourself for just a little bit. Give yourself a few days to just go. Uh, uh, I'm not going to focus on any of this anymore because you've been pounding on it, and overthinking it and over strategizing and everything else. And I feel like something's going to turn the corner for you really quick, really quick. So anyway, I hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, all of that. Leave negative comments, any kind of comments. So tell me what you'd like to see or like to hear, or say, hey, I agree with this reading. It kind of hit, the nail on the head. So anyway, I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one.